Yeah, another rainy day, eh, Mom?
Yeah. I see a bunch of there right between big white
Yeah.
rings.
You like sitting outside?
Yeah, I like the fresh air.
Yeah. Where did you live when you were in Montreal?
Oh, God. I have to sit down and think. If I was driving there, I know exactly where to go to think
Yeah.
of the name of it, you know.
But you lived with your grandmother?
She was right close by
Who did you live with?
with your father.
No,
Oh.
before that, when you were a young girl.
Oh, when I was young, I was on St. Catherine Street, and I worked at that hospital at the corner of St. Catherine and our street. That was a big, big hospital.
Yeah.
And I was looking after, that's where I met your father.
Yeah.
I was making sure that everything was clean, you know. And I opened the door, let the people in, and they liked it, so they put me on the main one.
The main elevator?
Yeah, and the big, big thing, and that's where your father.
Yeah.
What happened? Claudia and her two sisters, and Pat and myself. There was somebody else, one of the cousins, and they wanted to go to university, the military place in East End of Ottawa.
Of
There was-
Montreal.
Yeah,
Montreal.
East End of Montreal, the other end. And they wanted me, because I spoke both languages, to see if one of the military guys would sign us in,
Yeah.
because it had to be signed in. So I called with them in my house, my apartment, and I said, I'd like to go and see what it's made of, and I'd like to see if they'll let us come in for the dance this weekend. And he said, sort of rough, where do you live? I said, I live at the corner of St. Catherine. I forget his name. It goes into Verdun. I said, I live in that area. I work at that hospital. I said, he says, oh, you do? I said, yeah, that's your father. I said, yes, I work at it. I said, but if you want to tell us, and we can give you the people's name that wants to go, and you can sign us in. And he said, okay, now I know where you are. And I said, okay. So he wasn't about an hour. He had taken the bus, because it's on the same street, but way at the end. And if I had a pattern here, I'd know fast. And I didn't say nothing, because he came down in, not military, he was just
regular.
so, and the bell rang, and when the bell rings on the main floor, I had to go down, pick the people up, and bring them where the people were sick. So he got in. I said, what floor, please? He says, I don't remember. Take me to the top one and I'll think about it. I said, I can't do that. He says, oh, just go fast and then you can go down. I said, oh, Christ, I can't do that. But I took him up anyhow, because I was afraid he didn't know who he had to meet, his mother or somebody he had to go and see that just got operated on. That's what he said. So the bell rang, and I had to go down and get somebody, and this person went where the people were sick. And then I went up and told him, I said, you have to come out, you have to go back down if you haven't thought of where you were going. He says, oh yes, I know Irene. I said, how do you know my name? He said, well, you spoke to me on the phone. That's the way he was. So I said, oh, well, why didn't you tell me earlier? He says, I wanted to see how you got nervous. I said, well, I have to take you down. I'll let you off on the back. I says, and my cousin and I are working here. We're going to take 15, 20 minutes off for our break, and we can talk to you about what we want. He said, oh, that's great. He says, I'll go down and I'll meet you at that restaurant. I said, okay. So I told Pat, and Pat said, good. So we went down, and going out the back, he wasn't there. He was waiting for us at the back door. That was him. I said, I thought you were going to wait for us at the restaurant. He says, no, I'd rather really know what I'm doing. I said, well, this is my cousin Pat, and she's one of them that wants to go, and I've got 4 other cousins that wants to go. He says, all of those? I said, yes. I said, I said, well, I'm not going. He says, I'm not letting them in. So I said, oh, yes, I'm going. If I can go, I'd love to go. He said, okay, I'll go and make the announcement and see what's going to happen. And he sat down and we talk, you know. So we had to leave to go to work, back to the hospital. So he says, I'll tell you what, I'll get all the information and I'll call you. Give me your phone number. I said, okay. He says, tell me where you're living. I said, it was the hospital where I was, like from here to that corner over there where the big house is. And it wasn't far. I said, well, not far. I said, but let me know in advance when you're going to come. He said, yes. But then he found out everything he wanted to know. He was questioning everybody, I guess, when he got back to the... So, anyhow, he called me and he said, yes, you can come, you can sign it. And they said, we'll pick you up. And he says, I'll pick you up tomorrow at this time. He says, because tonight I have to go and check on things. I said, okay. When I got home from work, who was sitting outside was him. I said, I thought you had to go to work. He says, I did. I'm right here. That was your father. And that's the way I met your father, and that's the way we went together. And he brought me to northern Quebec, the city of Montreal. His father and his mother lived in that little spot way, way up north.
In the north?
If I see a paper, I tell you.
The north part of Montreal?
Yeah. It's a little town there. So what he did, that night, not that night, the following night, he came and picked us up. He says, we're taking a bus. He says, I said, you don't? I said, we're going to take the car. The cousin's got a car, and they're going to drive us there. He said, good, I'll be with you. So that's how come I met your father. So we went to the dance and everything, and he loved the dance. And
did you dance a lot?
Eh?
Did you dance a lot?
I danced 3 or 4 times, but he had to dance with the others and make sure they had their name down on his paper. But when he was finished with them, he came running to me. And I danced with him about, I says, I can't dance with you all the time. You got to dance with the girls. And he said, I have a time. That's the way your father did. I said, okay. I says, he said, but I said, I want to thank you very, very much for signing us in. I says, and if they have another dance in another month or so, give me a call and maybe we can make announcements to go again. He says, give me your phone number. How many calls do you think I got the next week and the week after? That was your father. And on the 3rd week we were together, he says, I'd like you to meet my mother and my father and my sister. I think she was going to something, I forget. She wasn't a very friendly girl to me.
No.
Never. Never. She never But that's something I had to say because that was true. Yvette.
But what
Yeah.
about his parents? What were they like to you?
Oh, his father was used to work for the military or something like that, but he was the type of a person that talks fast and loud, but not like a gentleman, you know what I
Like
mean?
rough?
Sort of roughy. So, but his mother, oh, she was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then they came and stayed with us when you were born.
Yeah. How long did you and Dad go out together before he asked you to marry him?
I'd say about almost a year.
Almost a year?
Yeah, almost a year.
Hmm.
But, you know, I never thought of it. I don't know why it was. When we got married, we went up north where his mother and father, I call it up north of Montreal. We went to stay there because I was only, I can't even remember what year I got married. And what
1950.
year, 50. And what year were you born?
51.
So I must have got pregnant right away.
Yeah.
No, I think it was before that. I think it was going with him longer than that before we got married. And then I got pregnant because I was still working.
Yeah.
And I had to travel from there down to Montreal.
When you first went to Montreal, remember you said you worked in a factory?
Yes.
What were you doing in the factory?
I was, and I only stayed at that factory, I'd say about a month because I was too fast. And the people that was working with me, the Frenchmen, were mad because I was going so fast, and they end up not having anything to do.
Oh.
And they didn't tell me that I had to go slow for that company. And the man in the office came and says, "I come to give you, when you get here, I'm not gonna come back anymore." I said, "Those girls don't like me to work here. They're all French, and I don't speak that much French in those days. Although Mama used to speak French, but they had that Quebec French."
Okay.
So anyhow, I said, yeah, I don't want to stay and work in this place because those 4 girls are French, and the 4 of them work together, and they don't like the way how fast I do my work. And was he ever mad that I was leaving? Because he was the boss and he wanted me to say, I said, "No, I'm going to go back and work at the hospital."
Yeah. Were you sewing?
With sewing, yes, on the machine.
Okay.
I was putting the bottoms up on these and the top, and I was fast because when I was a younger girl, my grandmother in Dalhousie taught me to do, how to do, when to do,
Yeah.
and that's the way she was.
Yeah.
But
What was your grandmother's name?
my God, Granny
Granny Brito?
Brito.
Granny Brito.
There's Granny Brito, Granny Coleman, Granny, my grandfather's,
Your father's mother.
yeah. You know, it's terrible. I'm forgetting most of their names and stuff, although I can see them
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, but you always remember the names after. Like
Oh,
after
yeah,
we
but-
talk.
Yeah.
After we talk.
Yeah. But anyhow, those were the days when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I turned 13, my father was quite
A drinker.
terrible. And he used to get mad at my mother, and he used to push her around. He used to slap her sometimes. That's how rough he was.
Yeah.
And he was a drunkard.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if he was like that before the war.
I can't say because
You
I
don't.
don't
You
know.
were too little. Yeah.
My mother was always afraid.
Yeah.
When we had that little room that we lived in, there was one bed in the living room for Hector.
A little cot by the
A little
stove.
cot right there. And then, let's say this is it here. He slept here. There was a room here. Mama and Daddy and the baby, I forget his name,
Lloyd.
Lloyd, they slept there with just a baby. And the 4 girls, 2 in the bottom, 2 in the top, slept there. And when, who was it? No,
Doris.
Doris was here, Florina was there.
Mona.
And Mona was there on that side. And I was right next to Daddy. And the reason it was next to Daddy, because she didn't want to smell his smoking. And I got them all in my face.
And
Every night he smoked like that on me. He was a hard man.
Yeah.
He was a small man. He wasn't a big man. He was, but I think it's because of the way he was brought up in his. My mother could say she was half French, half English.
Yeah.
But that was my life when I was small, and I worked. After school, I used to try and get a job just to make a couple of cents, a couple of dollars. We used to sell fruit, tomatoes, or strawberries. We used to go pick them, and then we used to have a little box, and we'd give it to the restaurant or whoever wanted to buy them. So me and 3 other girls used to do that. Mona was one. Anyhow, we did that for all that stuff. And that was when I was 12. And when I went to school when I was 13, I was quite high in school. High enough to not to worry about these young people. Or the boys, they used to say, I know more than you. I said, I don't give a darn if you know more than me. It's what I know that I find better. So anyhow, Granny Cologne left Dalhousie with Barbara.
No.
Janet.
Doris.
No.
Oh, Janet.
No. To Granny Cologne, not Mama yet.
Oh, Granny Cologne.
Yeah. My grandmother and Jean.
Oh.
And Jean had been pregnant with this child, and that was Pat.
Oh.
So she was born in Dalhousie, but the guy that got her pregnant didn't want to marry her because he was marrying somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
And she got very, very upset.
Yeah.
Very, very bad, because Pat was a cute kid.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty. And so she went to Montreal. Granny got a big apartment, 1 bedroom, and the rest was all in one, the room, the dining room with bed on it, and her and Pat used to sleep in there. And then Jean used to get drinking all the time. She was a heavy drinker, and she went to the back room. And she used to go out at night to the big restaurants at the East End of Montreal. But anyhow, and when I came back, Mama had got a job with Claudia's mother, Claudia, that bunch anyhow, they got a place for Mom to go, and I was still in Dalhousie. Who the hell was I staying with? I was staying, must have been, and it must have been Granny Cologne, because I had to look after her. She was getting old.
Was it Aunt Delima? No.
No, I wouldn't go into that. She had a bunch of kids. Anyhow, I went and stayed there till after school was over. And I finished school with, I think it was grade 10. but I couldn't finish it because I was going to Montreal on my own. What happened is, Daddy came to Mama was working at the hospital cleaning. The 2 kids that we had was there also, but they were in a room for people like Granny. And I went to help Granny. And I said, when I'm finished this, I'm saving my money because I'm going to Montreal to Granny. As her mother. He says, oh, she says, I don't think your father will let you go. I said, well, I'm going. We won't tell him. So I was in Hamilton, and that's where the hospital was. And he said, I'm going. I said to Mom, don't tell him I'm going. But Mama was a different type of a person. And he found out that I was going. So he came there when I was getting ready to go on the bus to Montreal. And he says, she cannot go to Montreal unless you come back and live with me. He said that to Mom. I says, well, Mom doesn't have to go and live with you because you drink too much. He says, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. You're not going if she doesn't come back. So I started to cry because I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
So he says, I wasn't quite 13. This was before going to school in January, March, April, May, June, July, June, the end of June. So I'm going to go and stay with Granny Brito and Pat. I said, Pat needs help. And that wasn't true. So he said to my mother, you see, she has to go. Do you want to go? She can't go. So I said, well, let me try it. And if I don't like it, I'll come back. And he says, you can go as long as your mother comes back home.
Did she go back home?
Yes, Mom went back home. It was just a little place. And he used to be a heavy drinker, and Mama couldn't stand it. But after a while, she took just a glass of beer, just to find out how he's doing. And that was, I never went back. Even to this day, I've only went back there maybe 1 or 2 times in my life.
Yeah.
But I would love to go back now. I'd like to show you the house. I'd like to show you
Yeah,
the
see if
place.
it's all still there.
Oh, God. Who's that?
I said if it's still there.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I used to look at a lot of people after that. They used to call and say, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? Never. I said, I got a good job at the hospital. What are you doing? Opening doors. I said, I really enjoyed and then after that, what was it? I had to leave for something. I had to leave to go down, and then they says, you got a job to go and work at another hospital down in Vermont, or
Verdun?
I forget the name.
Verdun?
Verdun. No, Verdun, it's north. This is down east, down below where I was. I forget the name of it. And I went to work in a store where they sell stuff. And I had cash of my own and a door. Another girl had cash of her own, and she had a door. But she was a bitch. She used to change the money in mine. When I was serving somebody, she'd go in there and take money out of mine. I was there about 2 weeks, and the guy in the office called me. He says, how come you're always short? I says, I'm never short. I says, why don't you ask that girl? She's always in my cash. He says, well, I can't do that. I says, why? He says, well, I have to tell you that it's yours. You were using it, and we can't prove it was hers. I says, again, I said, you know what? He said, but you're a heck, you talk French, you talk English, and you talk really good to these people. I want us to keep you. I said, let me tell you something, young fella. You own this place. You want good people. I'm leaving. Goodbye. I quit. I said, I don't have to work with people like you. You do not understand that that other girl kept stealing money out of my cash. So, and that was true.
Yeah.
After I was gone a month and a half, he called me. He said, by the way, the girl you were working with got fired. I said, thanks, but I'm not going back. He says, why? I said, because I don't like the way you people work. That's it. I said, and besides, I got a job at the hospital.
Yeah.
That was
Funny.
a different one.
Yeah, yeah.
I did a lot of that stuff, and that's it's in those days that I met your father.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, it was, you know, my life.
Yeah.
I didn't have nothing else. And I never went back to that house. I think I went back maybe twice in my years.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
was nothing there for me.
No.
Nothing at all. Like, and Jean. She's the one at the hospital with her husband. And
Uncle George?
the one at the hospital, he can't work there. He can't. We went there.
Auntie Bet?
Auntie Bet.
Auntie Bet.
That was Auntie Bet, eh? The one that you took me to see her?
Yep.
Okay. She hated me because she didn't like the way I was
Dressed?
made, and she didn't like the way I spoke, because I spoke both languages.
Yeah, but she spoke French too.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't like me.
Oh, you're more New Brunswick
Oh,
French.
yeah.
She was a
But
Quebec
still,
French.
she just didn't like me. And even today, when I went to see her with you that time, and I was still thin, and you fat, when I went to Montreal, and she was in that place, she used to, I was pregnant, eh? Or somebody down there. I was, I forget where I was.
You were pregnant?
No, I wasn't even married then. Those are the days when I was younger, and, oh no, but this was after I got pregnant I was with your father, and I got pregnant with you. You were my first.
Yeah.
And anyhow, she never liked the way her mother used to say, why don't you, she used to go to the show, take the bus near a place and drive to go to the theater.
Yeah.
And I used to love to go to that, just to see, like,
Yeah.
because we
To get
didn't.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. And she says, and then she said out loud, no, I can't take her with me. She's got a big belly. I was pregnant for you.
Yeah.
And from that day on, I was never close to her.
Yeah.
Even when I went.
But you know what? Today, she really depended on you a lot.
Yes.
When you used to live in the condo.
Yeah.
She always called you to fix her dresses.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Things change as you get older.
Yeah. But the thing of her not taking me with her,
It hurt.
I had a long dress and
It hurt
I had
your
a little tummy.
feelings. It hurt your feelings.
Oh yes, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shall we go out?
Yeah.
Let's go get dressed and go out.
I'm not dressed. I just got to change my clothes.
Okay.